This week in our short unbound history, we're looking at Kitt's Coty house in Kent. So what is it? It's not a house. It sits on a hill quite near to the M2 and just by an A road, overlooking a valley. And there've probably been many views on this over time, and the name would suggest that for some time it was considered to be a house. It's a very funny house, isn't it? Because it's not a house. It's actually a long barrow. The barrow's all gone. You have to imagine it. It's a gate, a door, perhaps a ceremonial door, but it's a stone door sealing a communal burial where pretty much everyone that lived in that community would have been buried. And it was built 4,000 years BC. And they dragged these stones up here, mounted them, and would have built probably a 60 foot, 70 foot long mound with this as the entrance. And I always find these in beautiful spots. Perhaps it's they've been destroyed where they're in more industrial areas. Or perhaps it's that when they looked out that door, they wanted to see their surroundings. Here in this photo, you can see this burial wasn't alone. It wasn't next to a temple or a place of worship. But if you look at the barn in the centre, you can just about make out a very ruined stone circle on the other side of the road. And now it sits rather sad and alone on a hill overlooking a generic town. No offence, Maidstone. Although it's an English heritage site, it's pretty much visited by dog walkers and horse riders from what I can see on the times I've been here, and it is a little hard to get to. You actually park by the pub, the Lower Bell. There's a lay-by halfway down Rochester Road. You walk to the bottom corner, you turn back up through the hedgerow, and you walk up this little path here. And it's a very ancient path, hidden between the trees. Running along the bottom of this hill, there's a very narrow one-way track with two of them side by side. But that's actually a very ancient road as well. It's the Pilgrim's Way. And that bisects this landscape, running near little Kitt's Coty house and Kitt's Coty megalithic burial chamber and little Kitt's Coty, the countless stones they're called. The history's barely poking through the surface here, but if you look closely enough, there's 6,000 years of pilgrimage, burial, worship, and just living. And it's all here in this quiet little set of fields. I'm going to be talking about Stonehenge and Avebury and the famous monuments in those areas, but I think this quiet little spot of Kent is very overlooked. So make sure you subscribe, and we'll be back with Unbound Histories with some more famous monuments. Although I love those famous ones, I have to say these quiet little gems hidden away, neglected from view, are just as interesting.